What's up, guys? We are back with another Marvel Legends review, taking a look at the most recent Target exclusive 2-pack from Hasbro, and that would be the Spider-Man vs. Kraven 2-pack. So this thing seems to be kind of going for a Kraven's Last Hunt thing, which is kind of interesting because the back of the package references the symbiote, and I could swear that this is just the black cloth suit, not the symbiote. If I'm wrong, someone let me know. But as far as this thing goes, we have our standard Marvel Legends 2-pack, so we've got the figures there in the window. There's a lot of comic print in the background there. The back of the package has got product shots showing the two squaring off, and then a little bit of a write-up, as well as some artwork from the various comics that this story originates from. So let's do it. Let's pull these guys out and take a look. And here they are out of the package. We've got our Spider-Man on the left, we've got our Kraven on the right, and these are just reissue figures with some changes. So Spider-Man is slightly different. He, of course, comes with an extra head this time around. He has different hands as far as what he comes with for extras. And then Kraven's got a little bit different going on with the belt, with his face, with the ankles, with the legs, stuff like that. So it's minor changes. Kraven is definitely more different than Spider-Man is, so I'm assuming most folks are probably interested in this for Kraven. We have the original black suit Spider-Man to compare against. I do not have the original Kraven. I never really cared about him, and then this 2-pack came along, so I figured we might as well jump on it because, of course, I need a second black suit Spider-Man. So we're going to run through Spidey real quick, just knock him out because we know pretty much everything about this figure already. So as far as articulation goes, I'm going to run through this really quick. The head can go up, down, bobble side to side, rotate, arms go out, they rotate. We do have bicep. We have got butterfly joints on the shoulders here for added mobility, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. You've got rotation and hinge at those wrists. We've got an ab crunch. You've got a waist twist. Legs go out about that far. They kick forward. They don't kick back too far. Thigh cut, double jointed knees, rocker, hinges at those ankles. So he is kind of standard Spider-Man, it's exactly what you would expect. If you have the figure from, the Sandman wave, then you know exactly what you're getting here because they are the exact same figure. Black body with a white spider logo on there. It's painted well enough. I don't think it's as crisp this time around, and the mandibles on the spider are actually slightly different. They are further apart, and they are closer on the other one. And then you've got the white on the back. It's a little fuzzy in some places. It's not too bad. It's certainly not great. The eyes are pretty well done. They're painted nicely, but the figure is exactly what you think it is. It is a cast black body, and it works well enough for Spider-Man. I'm kind of tired of this body myself, but it definitely works for this slimmer, more agile build for Spider-Man. Now, he does have a handful of accessories, nothing too crazy. You've got a replacement left hand, you've got a fist here, so you can have 2 fist hands, or you've got the one thwipping hand. That's one of the differences between the original one and this one. The other one did not come with any thwipping hands. He came with splayed kind of style pose hands. And then we have got this Peter Parker head here, which is just beat all to hell. This is supposed to be Kraven's Last Hunt, the storyline, the face-off between Spider-Man and Kraven, where he buries Peter Parker alive. So you've got like a bruised eye, you've got some cuts all over the face. It's okay. This is good for somebody who wants to set a scene. I do not have any indications that I'm going to be using this whatsoever. It might be fun to take a few pictures with, but it's probably going to go in a bin or a bag or whatever. So if you're out there, the guys that want this head, then you finally have one, I suppose. It's painted well enough. It's a head we've seen a handful of times already. So, it's a cool thing to add. It certainly is good for this particular storyline they're trying to convey, but I don't think I personally need it. Now here's a brief comparison between the two figures. So this is the original one, this is the new one. You can see they are almost identical. The only real difference is that the spider emblem is slightly different, and then they have different hands. So this one, he's got those splayed finger hands, and then this one has the one thwipping hand. This one also comes with fists, if I remember, but I don't have them handy, no pun intended. So you've got 2 very decent black suit Spider-Man figures. I've never been head over heels with this particular figure, but it definitely gets the job done. It's hard to mess up a solid black figure. And next up we have our Kraven figure. This is the main focus for me when it comes to this pack, and that's just because I don't have the original one. I do think this is a nice looking figure. In many respects, there are a couple things that really bother me just from an aesthetic standpoint, but I do think this figure is pretty cool. So we will take a look at articulation, see what he does. You're not going to be surprised. Head can go up, head can go down, you can rotate, arms go out and swivel. You've got a bicep swivel. We've got double jointed elbows. Rotation hinge at the wrist. He's got an ab crunch. He can't really go back too far, but he can go forward. The vest is a slight rubbery piece, so it does allow some movement forward. You do have a waist twist. The belt hides it pretty well. Legs go out. They kick forward and back, only slightly. Thigh cut, double jointed knees, and then you've got a boot cut, and then you've got hinge and rocker down at those ankles. So pretty standard stuff. I think he moves well enough. You can get him into some decent poses for a character that is slightly bulkier, but also still needs to be agile. Of course, the main draw for this figure is definitely just the look. He is pretty unique amongst a lot of Marvel Legends figures, and that mostly comes down to the vest and the lion's mane that wraps around the body. I think this thing is sculpted really nicely. It is definitely a little bit different from the original one. There's a slight deco change, but for the most part, it's still pretty similar. You've got nice shimmering eyes in there. The lion's face is painted really well. There's a lot of wash in this sculpt to bring out this hair, because frankly, there is a ton of detail packed into the hair on the back of this guy. I really like it. Makes him kind of bulky. He's a little bit back heavy, but it's nothing you have to worry about when posing him. We've got this kind of leopard print deco that runs on his arms, and then you've got it that runs down his legs as well. I like this belt. I believe this is a new change for this figure with the kind of spikes that stick out. Nicely done, nicely painted. And then you've got these down here. So he's got his like bare ankles showing, I suppose is what this is supposed to be, his shins and his ankles. And then he's got the slipper style boots, and frankly, I hate this. It makes him look like he has really fat cankles, and it's just unappealing to me. This is like my biggest gripe with this entire set is when I got him out of the package and really realized what he looked like this just doesn't look right. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be his bare skin or not, but whether it is or isn't, it doesn't look very good to me. It's just kind of unappealing. Beyond that, the rest of the figure does look really nice. The wraps are nicely done. They're painted really well. I don't have any real issues with bleeding or anything like that. And then, of course, we do have a different head sculpt to talk about with this figure, because that's one of the key changes this time around. This head is very different from the first release Kraven. That was a very stoic, very standard, very non-expressive face. This guy has seen better days. He definitely is angry. He is mad. He is very much unhappy. And I think it comes through really, really well. The face paint is nicely done. You can see there's some slight shading around the eyes. The eyes themselves are painted nicely. The teeth are really nicely done. All of the facial hair, the eyebrows, the mustache, the beard looks great. The hair is nicely sculpted. There's not really any paint in there, but the sculpt does come through on its own. This is a great head sculpt. I'm really, really happy with it. In comparison to the extra head that we get for Spider-Man for Peter, it's kind of okay. It's a very beaten and battered head, but he has no expression on his face. He's just, okay, I'm hurt. Kraven here is just full of life and energy, and I don't always like that with figures, but in certain instances, I just love it, and this one really works. For this particular storyline they're trying to go through, for this particular version of this character, I think this is a great choice for this figure, and the head sculpt is just spot on. Now, Kraven does come with a couple accessories, one of which we have seen a few times and one of which that came with him originally, but he does have this guy here. We've got the sniper rifle, and this kind of fits in with the story because if I remember correctly, it's been a very long time since I read these comics. He shoots Spider-Man. I don't know if he shoots him with a sniper rifle, but that definitely seems like it fits. I'm not sure where this gun comes from. This does not ring any bells for me. It's a brown stock with a black barrel and scope on it, but it works well enough and he can hold it pretty well in his right hand. And then the other accessory he has, the one that I prefer for this figure, is the staff. And we've seen this before. Kraven came with it previously. We've had it with Black Panther, things like that. So brown shaft with some paint detail, a little metallic silver for the blade, and then you've got some feathers with some beadwork on there, which are painted in metallic blue. So some pretty standard accessories, but they very much fit Kraven. He doesn't usually have anything too crazy, so these are very fitting for this character and for this story. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this set. I do like Kraven far better than I like this Spider-Man. I feel like the Spider-Man is an easy addition to this set. Obviously, they do go together, but at the same time, this Spider-Man doesn't really bring anything new to the table. Of course, he does have that extra head, but that's not an accessory that I plan on ever displaying him with or really even using. Kraven, on the other hand, is a marked improvement, I think, from the original one in most respects. I still think those fat ankles are a negative for this figure, but the rest of him absolutely works for me. I think the sculpt and paintwork is really fantastic here. The changes they've made are nicely done. They bring out a different side of this character, and then he comes with two very appropriate accessories. So if you're into Kraven, if you need a black suit Spider-Man, this is definitely the way to go. I'd say jump on this while you can. So that's going to do it for the Target exclusive Marvel Legends Spider-Man vs. Kraven 2-pack. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.